This episode's adventure takes us to my hometown of Wedderburn, located in north central Victoria. Use the timestamps below to skip the history lesson if you're not keen, and get straight to some of my favourite places around town. We started out the weekend by setting up camp at Melville Caves as our base, which is located in the Korong State Park. We'll tell you a little bit more about this area shortly, but for now, a bit of gold rush history.
Go slow signs mean nothing around Wedderburn, a little Australian town in the state of Victoria. The reason? A 1950 gold rush that brings hopeful prospectors from near and far to stake out a claim, even in the main streets. It all started when quantities of gold were discovered near the surface, and now everybody's hoping to strike the rich vein of gold further down. Cans are used to wash away the soil, and here's luck for somebody as a precious particle of gold-bearing quartz comes to light. This man reckoned he was on the way to something big, and he was right, as the pickaxe unearths a 70-ounce lump of gold-studded rock, the biggest find so far. If you've never seen it before, that's gold in the raw, a nice little lot worth 1,100 pounds. No wonder the diggers of Wedderburn are working a 7-day week.
So our first stop on the hometown trip is Melville Caves, which is a rocky mountain within the Korong State Park as mentioned before. There is one main cave, which is made by the huge boulders leaning against each other, and you can find numerous smaller examples of this throughout the park.
There's like a thing that points out landmarks around this general vicinity, and it's got things like One Tree Hill, if you remember our Ararat hometown video, so that's 59 k's that way. Can you see it from here? That could be it over there actually.
Oh,
That's cool.
hey,
Yes,
you ready to go find a cave?
sure am.
Dag. The caves are named after Captain Melville, who was a bushranger that used the caves as a hideout in the mid-19th century. Born in Scotland and brought to Australia as a convict, Melville was a leader of a gang that terrorised travellers throughout the Black Forest and Mount Macedon. The gold rush era was an especially prosperous time for those without scruples. So when I was a kid, I used to come into here and used to have to scramble down the rocks, but they've got a little bit more professional over time.
Safe.
And they've actually put some stairs down here further into the darkness. No light still, so it's pretty dark down here.
We're standing under a bit of a natural opening in some rocks, so there's a little bit of light here, but it's almost pitch black.
Yep.
So that's great.
I tripped over.
She did. It was great. I hope I don't fall into a precipice.
I hope I don't fall. TikTok's ruined me.
Yeah.
The walk from the main car park to the lookout and caves takes approximately 20 minutes walking up the generally steep incline. Or, alternatively, you can walk for just 5 minutes from the lookout car park, which is located just up from the campgrounds. Facilities include drop toilets at the campground, flushing toilets at the bottom picnic ground, and well-maintained pathways, with some ramps to help with prams or wheelchairs. There's also barbecue facilities and fire pits, and tap water, although it's not meant for drinking. Don't let that fall on your head. My boobs are almost too big to get through that gap.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
tell us about Melville Caves, or as you know it, Melville's Caves.
Yeah, Melville's Caves. I know in reality there's no S on the end of Melville, but I very much grew up calling it Melville's Caves, and I just thought it was some Melville guy, which it was. I thought it was his caves, so Melville's Caves makes a whole bunch of sense. We used to come here a lot when we were in primary school because I lived just nearby here, so it was we pretty much run amok all through here when we were kids. We just about knew it like the back of our hands, I reckon. It's a bit different now, been a few years since then, so lots of things have changed, but it's still the same place, and it's still got the same vibe about it, which I love. This rock is huge. Joey for scale.
This is Barry's rock.
Hey everyone, we're just having a lovely dinner on the fire pit today, and oh my god, look at that! It's a fish net in its natural habitat. Better back away slowly. Be careful. Be careful, Betty. I think he sniffed your food.
What's his natural prey?
You. Stop one today is at the Hard Hill Reserve, which is just behind us here. Now, it's changed a lot since I was a kid, and it's got a lot more touristy type setup things, like extra seats, extra shade, extra barbecues probably, I don't know. There's a whole bunch of stuff. The facilities is the word I'm going for.
Oh, your battery's nearly flat.
Oh no. Extra facilities now than they used to have when I was a kid, but we'll go for a walkthrough and I'll show you some caves and some other stuff.
Tried to get the lorikeets, but they're too far away for the GoPro.
Pretty loud though.
Yeah.
So this area used to be very much more about gold mining, but they've turned it more into a tourist attraction for showing how the Yuki distillery works. But they do the gold detecting Jamboree up here every year as well, which is about everyone bringing out their detectors. I have no idea, I've never been. Anyway, looks like lots of fun, but it wasn't a thing when I was here. So this is the first mine. So when I was a kid, none of this cage existed, so we used to sneak in and go as far in as we dared. There was always stories about this rock having collapsed on people and miners dying back in the day. And every year there used to be at least 2 snakes who used to sleep just in the opening in this area here. And when they were hibernating, we used to try to see who could get the closest.
Oh my god.
No one ever disturbed them to the point where they woke up, but I don't know how. So this is the second cave and my favourite of the bunch. My brother and I used to spend hours upon hours making cubby houses inside of here, and again they've put a bloody gate on it so we can't get in, but I'll show you what it looks like. Looks like people have been able to break in since the last time I was here. So we used to spend heaps of time carving into the side of this. That little shelf there, I dug that out. And down the back there you can see that there's like a little square tunnel that goes down. We used to try to get as far as we could. We get little head torches and crawl down it, but we never ever got to an end point before we'd all get too scared and have to come back. So I can't tell you how far it goes. After stopping in town for lunch at the 24 Carat Cafe, highly recommend, do go check it out. It's got a little seating area out the back which is in the shade, and on a warm day like today it was really nice. So the last thing we're heading off to do before we head back home is to come to Mount Korong, which is somewhere we used to come when we were kids for picnics. There's nobody else here, so we're kind of wishing that we camped here instead of at Melville Caves, because although Melville Caves is amazing, we had to share it with other people in the campsites, and here there's just not a soul around. So next time I think we'll keep this on the list. It doesn't have very good signage to get here, So if you turn off from the Calder Highway, there is a sign saying Mount Korong this way, and then you've got to keep your eye out for just a little sign off the side of the road that kind of points you in the right direction but isn't super clear. So definitely come check this out if you're in the area.
Tell me you're Australian without telling me you're Australian. The best part of this is I have a fly on me right now.